Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me on the very first ever Wide Open Wednesday. And this is a reading where we are going to look at a 10-day window, starting with the previous weekend, Sunday, going through today, Wednesday, and continuing on through the weekend to a week from now, which is roughly Tuesday. So in this case, it would be December 3rd through December 13th. And I have my calendar open to make sure I got those dates right, because we all know how well I keep track of them up there. So in that 10-day time, we happen to go through 3 phases of the lunation. Each phase lasts about 3.5 days. So Sunday, December 3rd, marked the full moon in Cancer, the astrological sign Cancer. It was a super moon, so it was closest the full moon has been to the Earth in 2017, and it was referred to as the cold moon. Currently, we are just getting ready to enter, or are entering, depending on where you are, the waning gibbous, or disseminating moon, and then by Saturday, we'll be at the quarter moon, which looks like a half moon in the sky, but it's the quarter moon, the third quarter moon, as we head into towards the new moon. But we're only going to talk about through the quarter moon and into the waning crescent a bit. Yeah, no, we just finished. We'll finish the quarter moon. And it'll be right on the cusp of the next moon phase, which of course we'll cover in next week's video, because it'll go back from that weekend forward. So hope you're with me so far. We're looking at the full moon we just had, the current phase of the waning gibbous or disseminating moon, where it's just past full and still looks wobbly in the sky, to the quarter moon, or where it looks like half lit. And I'm going to put up some graphics, hopefully. Hopefully I'll get those done in time for publishing this. If not, definitely by the next time, because I had to create those. And so for each phase, we're just going to pull a card and look at it and try the energy that we're guided to share through the cards with the energy of the moon. And that will be Wide Open Wednesday's reading format. So thank you again for joining me on this very first one, and for sticking with me on getting the communication clearer about it. It feels like the very first card for this full moon in the sign of Cancer that we just experienced, Sunday through Tuesday, really, the effects of it, is into the unknown. Into the unknown. Which is really interesting, because the energy of the full moon, I'm going to try to remember to hold this here. The interesting of the full moon is really about beginning to receive what you set into motion during the new moon phase of the same sign. So it would have been the new moon phase of Cancer approximately 6 months ago. So December, June. The June new moon in Cancer, which I don't remember anything specific going on in my life at that exact time, except that I just started teaching a class called Transformation Through Joy. And so I'm sure that for me personally, there was a lot of energy about transforming my life through happiness. So I'm pretty excited to see how that plays out as we begin to receive those things. But in general, you're moving into the unknown. You're receiving what you asked for, but you don't know exactly what that's going to look like. And with the full moon in Cancer being around family and home and stability, and being able to make home be a feeling and rather than a physical place, It's not the house, it's the home. Having that home within you, or being able to create it wherever you are, allows you a lot more flexibility into going into unknown places, because your security isn't dependent upon the physical place as much as the essence of what makes something home for you. So I do see a lot of transition here. I see a lot of things kind of shaking up a bit for the better as we're starting to receive those things regarding home and what that really means for us. So, all right, the next card for the waxing gibbous or the disseminating moon, which is in the sign Leo. Leo's gonna love this. Stuck in the mud. Part of the waning moon is being able to release things that don't no longer work, and it just really looks like for the next couple of days, the things that don't work are going to be highlighted. It's going to be pointed out, and it's going to be pointed out because you're going to feel stuck every time you hit it. Like nothing's happening, nothing's working. It's the same old thing, and that feeling of just really hating being stuck. So when you notice that over the next few days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into probably the early bit of Saturday. Saturday for sure. As you're noticing this, the stuck in the mud, you're going to notice the habits they relate to, because the moon sign, even though the phase is still the same moon, is going to go through Leo and a bit into Virgo. And so Virgo is very service-oriented. Virgo is very organized, and a lot of habits, a lot of things, the habits that are holding you back, the habits that you need to let go of, be ready to release. Any that, it seemed like prior to the new moon, we were going through this too. So any that didn't quite get released prior to that new moon, you get to revisit right here. It's going to just be illuminated. The things that make you feel stuck, the things that make you feel like life isn't working. It's like, yep, you got to figure out a way to make those changes as well. So, and card we will be moving into through the weekend and to next week's reading, starting with Sunday into next Tuesday, the quarter moon. I think it's this card, but it's not coming, so I'm going to have to... yeah, there's one more over here lighting up a little bit better. It doesn't want to move either. New deck, though. All right. So it's either you or it is you. Let's see if we can... Maybe it's you. You want it to come right away. Get a read here on the quarter moon coming up. The quarter moon in Libra. That's that one. Okay. And we have follow the leader. Question is, are you the leader or the follower? And being that the moon is in the quarter phase, which is half and half, and being that it's going into the sign Libra, which is balance, I think it's really asking you to look at where do you lead, where do you follow? And is that related to some of these stuck habits? Do you automatically jump into a leadership role and not give anybody else the chance for that? Do you automatically follow along, waiting to see how things go? And just look at where you're doing both of those. And look at maybe what happens if you step back from leadership and allow yourself to be neutral or follow a little ways, or step out of the shadows and into the leadership role where others can follow you. So that's really what it looks like the key for Sunday through next Tuesday, as the moon is moving through Libra, is just really looking at your roles. Roles, R-O-L-E-S, a little southern got in there. Roles and how you act them out. And allow yourself to be a leader in ways that reflect who you are, and only follow what speaks to you truthfully from the heart, from the inner voice. And if doing that shakes up things a little bit, that's okay, because we're headed into the unknown and we're tired of being stuck in the mud. So allow yourself to really explore new ways of being. Allow yourself to have that mystery and to go into new things, things that you've never tried before, Notice where you still feel stuck, like life just hasn't changed. How can that be? And then where you can change the roles from leadership to following in ways that are authentic to you. Stop following where it's not authentic. Stop following just because. If it doesn't feel right, stop going that way. Start leading a new direction. All right. And I do, along with the stuck in the mud card, I do have to share a funny thing I noticed. It is interesting where we get stuck in our own spaces in our life, and we don't really notice it. I want you to know that in my mind, this lovely navy sweatshirt is my new, really good sweatshirt. And I will say it is probably the best made sweatshirt I've ever owned, because there are no ravels, there are no holes, there's no faded spots. And I bought this sweatshirt in 1992. That's like a quarter of a century ago, 25 years ago. My husband was a senior in high school. I was in college. I mean, come on. We didn't know each other at that point. He was living in Washington and I was in West Virginia for a short while. So, yeah, but it's my new one because that's where it got stuck in my filing cabinet. So as you're looking at what keeps you stuck in the mud, you might also look at where your brain is stuck, whether it's the age of something or someone. Oftentimes, my youngest son, I have a hard time keeping up with the actual age he is. I want him to be about 3 years behind where he is. And so I really have to work hard at being present with where he is now. And I don't know why that is, but I'm looking at it. So just notice where you get stuck, not only in your habits, but in the way that you view something, whether it's something in your home, something in your life, something in the way you serve people, all those things. So take care, be blessed. Thank you for joining me on Wide Open Wednesday. We'll do it again next Wednesday. And I hope that you can give me some feedback on what you noticed about this, whether it spoke to you, how it spoke to you, those things. Look forward to seeing it. Talk to you later.